Hi, welcome back to the channel. This is Ian here from Pennyglen Cabin Life. I wanted today to talk a bit about how the coronavirus has made us adapt our lifestyles. And you know, it's really impacted on our lives, the coronavirus, and it's going to change things, I feel, for many years to come. I don't think it'll be just a short-term thing, this. I don't feel that just with the social distancing, I think that'll continue for a lot longer, if not even years, I bet. I was listening to the radio about this scientist in America, and he said he thinks the actual coronavirus itself and the future form of it could be here for decades. It's quite frightening, that. And he said eventually you'll either have an immunity or you will have had some form of coronavirus in your lifetime. Very scary times. It's like now here in the UK. Now Scotland's behind the UK with the shops opening and movement and everything. We're only just starting moving around a little tiny bit in Scotland. But in England, where a lot of my family's from, in different areas, their lives are totally different. They've started getting a bit more back to normal. It started where some of the shops are starting to open now. Some of the amenities are more easier and more better to get. So supermarkets, there isn't as many restrictions on how many people go in, but there is public distancing. You know, there's all that. And he was saying about when the department stores are going to open, that they're not going to have changing rooms anymore, where you can try it on. You'll be able to take it home. With it being within reason, certain items, like if it's underwear, if you buy it, you can't bring it back. But if it's clothing, you can still bring it back. So I don't know how that's going to work. So if they're saying you can bring clothing back, then if you have coronavirus, and obviously you're going to put that onto your clothing, not that you would go to the shops and buy clothing if you had coronavirus, but there'll be people that have it that won't realise they've got it. So I don't know how that would work. That was on the radio as well the other day. My brother was telling me that. So I could understand with the underwear situation, but they said it could be a permanent thing, that they get away with all the changing rooms now. It's terrible. It's terrible that they can do something like that. But it's just everything in general, how it's all going to change. I think there'll be many food shortages over the years as well now. Like now in England and Scotland, there's not as many migrant workers coming in picking the fruit and also the potatoes and the crops out the fields. So there's lots of fields where the vegetables are just going to rot because we've nobody to pick them. So, but on one hand, they're saying, well, we don't want free movement of people. And on the other hand, please come into our country and pick the veg out of our fields, because in many cases, only some of our British workers don't want to work. You know what I mean? The government can't have an happy medium with that. It's either there's no free movement of people, full stop, or we get people back to work in the UK. One of the things I'll find hard to get used to is just a little tiny thing, but it impacts everybody's entire life. When you see a friend or you see a family member, if it's a close friend, so don't get me wrong when I say this, you give them a hug or you shake the hand. You know, it's a simple thing like that that's always been through the generations that you do when you're with family or a very close friend that you've not seen for a long time. So like when people come here to see me, I'll shake the hand. But automatically, I think without thinking, I'll still put my hand out like most people would, you know? And then is it awkward? Is it an awkward feeling when you say, well, I'm sorry mate, I can't shake your hand? It's like saying you've got an allergy or something, isn't it? You know what I mean though, don't you? It's going to be awkward, that. It's going to be awkward. So, but yeah, so there's a lot, most people still at home and everything. There's still a lot going out to work with, even though the coronavirus is on. I'm glad the government did the right thing, because we bailed the banks out with the financial crisis, and I'm glad they've done what they've done, helping people with money through all this. I'm actually surprised they've done it, because you know what they're like, they protect the bankers over anything else. But I'm really actually proud of the British government, what they've done, giving people money so they don't lose their homes and things like that. no, it's a good thing that they've done. All right, we're going to pay the price for it, because they say it's going to be the deepest depression since World War II, if not worse than World War II. But everything comes at a price in life, and I feel I don't mind paying my taxes, and if I've got to pay a little bit more to pay this money back to the country that we borrowed to help people, then yeah, I feel more inclined to do it, rather than, no offence to the bankers when they bust the country. So it's a better feeling knowing that it's helped people's families, put food on the table, kids are fed, people aren't losing their homes. So, but like, it's like life, it's just like every so often life just throws you a curveball, doesn't it? And that's what it's done now. So, right, that's me for a natter. I'm just looking down because I've just seen a dog down here, just caught it corner of my eye. So I'm going to get off. I'm going to get off doing the dogs, and I'll do a little video at the end of the puppies, and I'll see you again next time down at the cabin. Right, I'm going to get off, and I'll see you again next time down at the cabin.